that's us hopefully going out live for the rest of the content. We Happy Few, Uncle Jack live VR. So you know what? We'll maybe do the first bit again, just in case someone clicks on this video and wants to see the actual main VR bit, because the rest's kind of a lot of promo video type stuff. This is us, look. Joy Ventilation is online. Look at that terrifying poster there.
Oh dear. Huh. That sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame. It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh. We're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are. Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right. You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Sometimes the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the previous story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. You wouldn't want me to get muddled, would you? No. Of course not. Just press the send button below the news story you want and whoosh! It will magically appear on my teleprompter. Be sure to hit the send button, otherwise I won't get the news stories.
You got that wrong, Jamie Geck.
Yeah, you didn't send me any news stories. Please send news, or I shall have to do magic tricks, and I don't know any. On in 5, 4, 3.
And now it's time for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. Hey, that's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the news you need to start your afternoon with a smile. Feel free.
Yes. Cucumbers before the fall.
My producer, who is catching on fast, has handed me another lovely news article. Cucumber lovers, rejoice. Executive Committee member Beatrice Sackville announced that negotiations with the farmers across the bridge have been entirely successful, and we can expect new boxes of vegetables any day now. We'll have cucumbers in time for the lawn tennis championships. Oh, goody. I just adore a good cucumber sandwich, don't you?
We'll send him that one again.
Scar, please.
You like that one? That Downer's killed?
Waiting.
Alright, man.
Yes. I hope you didn't miss the excitement at Simon Says this week. Our weekly competition was, it was just reaching fever pitch when alert Hamiltonians noted a squad of wastrels from over the bridge attempting to burgle a house. Well, the hue and cry went up and the entire village chased these malcontents into the river. Alas, nobody could remember who was still playing, but, well, wasn't everybody a winner?
News story available. Another card, aye.
Yes,
Constable
next item.
Fleas Foggy Jack. I think I did that last time.
Well, that's better. I was beginning to worry. I mean, this is a show about good news, you know. Let's see. Last week's Hamlin Hopscotch tournament was such a success that it's going to be repeated. All will gather on Thursday at 2 p.m. for the festivities. Mrs. Clyde Featherbottom will provide tea and cakes. And don't be late, or Mrs. Featherbottom will be cross with you. Next time.
You Simon says host. Cholera alert.
Waiting.
This.
The legendary Simon Says contest at the Church of St. Genesius is back on! Yes! And the pop star Nick Lightbearer will be their celebrity caller. Mr. Lightbearer has become reclusive of late. His Christmas concert ended abruptly last year when the singer broke down in tears of joy and, well, he was unable to continue, even after fans appreciatively threw kitchen scraps on stage. His managers assure the singer's loyal fans that he no longer has the very bad cold that caused the rest of his concert series to be cancelled. Oh, that was a bit of excitement, wasn't it? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time, yes. Our producer did a pretty swell job for a fan, don't you think, eh?
So kicking off. So I tried to choose different ones from the last time.
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party in the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many. Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, well, make sure that they're not breaking anything. People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they? Do you know what makes a party even better? Why, joy, of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery with joy, right? You can never be too careful. Any time now.
See, last time I did,
Yes,
should I just weave it?
Fire up an old ventilation system and spread the joy all around.
I wonder what happens if you weave it.
Scrooge at Christmas. And wouldn't we all love a nice Christmas turkey about now? You know, almost anything to be a Christmas turkey with enough joy. Seriously, if somebody would just do whatever it is that you do to turn on the joy of the ventilators.
Oh, somebody done it. So it happens anyway.
Nice to hear that lovely joy, guys.
This bit's amazing though.
Under your smile, don't be afraid, all you gotta do is right. 'Cause when we were young, we just a child, and we start to all we do is smile. Let's try a stranger on for a while. Something could change
So yeah, it's still pretty good.
for a brand new start. Hide all the raindrops under your tongue.
Folk don't seem to think that. Nippon, good to see you. Good to see you, Jamie Gecker, man. No, they're all good. What are you talking about? This one seems like more of a kind of promo thing. Like, that was the main kind of game. It's quite short. I was just checking. Chose other stories, didn't put the joy up at the end. But it still kind of plays out the same. This bit's kind of like a lot. I don't know if it's stuff that's in the game or if this was like promo stuff. But I listened to like all of these. It's like more Uncle Jack. There isn't a show called, Go to Bed with Jack. Oh yeah, it's actually, I never played the full game. No, I didn't say that. So I've watched all of these, and it's actually saved my progress and remembered that I've watched all of these, because you have to unlock these wee padlock things. So I don't think I've done... Aye. What's happening? Thomas Jane. I mean, he's been good in some things. But I think green means we've watched them, yeah? Where's the game for Goat? Because I did watch all of them. So maybe I've watched all of these. Maybe no having a light at all means I've watched them. That makes more sense. Aye, how's it going, Nipan? I've not watched your video. I will watch it, and you'll be dead chuffed when I do. Oh, so this is one of the kind of, it's like a song from the game, I think, and it just has a wee visual. No, you just have to watch them on the telly. You can like gesture at them, and you can raise a fist and go, "Ah, Uncle Jack." This song's quite insane feeling, actually. Wee slappy for you, no, you can't. This song's making me feel a wee bit on edge. But aye, that's dead chuffed when we got here. Got sunny day. Wee Swappy Pew was really good. Oh, it's another song. That is good patter from the Jamie Geck and the Nippon there in the chat. Nice. Slightly colour changing psychedelic visuals. Hoping for more of the Uncle Jack videos though. That has actually got better. I've introduced that. Nice, this kind of, I mean, you know, it's a free thing. Both of us on that. Nice. I told you, man, it's good. You've been enjoying 2016 as well. So that was joy I took as well. I wonder if all of these are going to be tunes. Out of the Blue by, what are they called? An Endless Sporadic. Is it that? Out of the Blue. I got it. No, I didn't. I got News Hour 3. What did you call me? Oh no, what's that noise mean? Does that noise mean we're still on air currently?
As long as we are true,
I'm hoping like hell that it does.
the sun shines out the blue. As long as we are true, the stars come into view. As long as we are true, it's up to me and you.
As it becomes available, play a good chunk it. I need some paracetamol, man. My neck. Don't know what I've done. My favourite. I didn't take any paracetamol. I'm getting old. Sorry, chatting all over the top of it. We'll let the instrumental solo happen, right? It's a wee bit doorsy, isn't it? Is that what they're going for with it? What was that? You mean for like, you know, for constipation? Oh, you've got the mad snow just now, haven't you, Jamie Dick? Okay, right, let's get Uncle Jack on there. There he is.
Well, hello there. What exactly are you doing? Yes, you there. This is Uncle Jack talking directly to you. Are you where you belong right now? And are you supposed to be doing that? These are very important questions for all of us. As patriotic citizens of Wellington Wells, it's not enough to just look out for yourself. We all have to look out for each other. And that means asking ourselves these questions every day. Are we where we're supposed to be? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? For if we're all doing our duty, will we preserve and thrive into the future? You never can be too careful. Take it from me, Jack Worthing. Stay where you belong and do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
That was a bit like when I was talking to Seaman, and he was hitting out the things that were keen as the fear. There we go, right. So let's go for some humour hour. We've had, that one was a wee bit frightening, that last one. What was that even called? News Hour 3? There we go. Come on, Jack. Let's hear some of your...
Welcome to today's edition of Humour Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes and you send them in. And the first joke comes from Winston Smith of Basingstoke Road. Let's see what Winston has to tell us. Dear Uncle Jack, I love your show, especially Humour Hour, blah, 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 blah. And here's one for you that always cracks us up. Question, how can you tell a German from a pickle? Answer, you can't. You can't tell a German anything. Very good, Winston Smith. Thank you for that. You can't tell a German anything. And this one here is from Cyril Price of Wexley Crescent. Cyril Price. My grandfather was a crack shot. Why, he shot 5 Germans, and that was only last year. Yes, I mean, you can never be too careful, can you? That's from Mr. Cyril Price of Wexley Crescent. Thank you, Cyril. It's very funny. Now, what do we have now?
You got more
from,
jokes.
Mr. Michael Tunbridge of Upper Stokely Road. Question. What did the German say as he pushed his brother off a cliff? Answer. Look, Mama, no hands. I love it. No hands. It's very good indeed. Those Germans. This one here is from our faithful contributor, yes, Mr. Persky Blatyang. What have you got for us today, Mr. Persky Blatyang? Question. What do you call an angry German?
How is it all?
A sauerkraut. Hang on a minute. I don't get it. Joke? Of course it is. I don't understand. Is this a joke? Why would you call it a sauerkraut? Is this some kind of English word play? Mr. Pesky Blatchang, very good.
You can have his bow tie, like.
Mr. Pesky Blatchang, as I said, of Duke of Leicester Street. And this is from...
He's got more.
Helen Corcoran of Orange Circle.
Was this German
What's the
jokes
best way
humour
to
week?
start a German joke? Answer, by looking over your shoulder. Yes, that's very good, looking over your shoulder. It's funny and it's very sound advice, eh?
It's no. I mean, it wasn't
Here we
supposed to
have one
be.
from Mrs. Millie Dench, from
Uncle-
Kingshead in Hamlet.
Uncle Jack, no more German jokes.
Question.
Don't you dare.
Question.
No.
What did the German say to the English clock that went tick, tick, tick? Answer. We have ways of making you talk. We have ways of making you talk.
No.
That's good.
No.
I love it. Very good indeed. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to top that one. If you do hear a good joke, don't hesitate to drop us a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House, in the centre of Wellington Wells. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for the best in humour. See you soon.
Right, 99 is quite funny. Nice. Get the doom on, man. Let's put on Play with Jack 1. No, not 99 2. He wasn't that bad. I mean, no, some of them were pretty. Aye, some of the jokes last time were a bit.
And now, it's time for our daily recreational activity to show where you're the star. Come on, everybody. It's time for everyone to gather in front of the telly. And if you're inside, be sure to go and find a telly outside. This game is much more fun to play in a crowd. Today, we're going to be playing Simon Says. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Begin. I didn't say Simon Says. I got you already.
Huh.
Now, you all know the rules, don't you? I'm going to tell you to do something. But if I don't say Simon Says, you don't do it. If I do say Simon Says, you do it. Okay? Ready?
Yes.
Is everybody ready?
He's done it again.
You there.
He got me.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, come on, don't
Simon,
be shy.
the Simon Says
you
I'm ready.
You want to? Of course you do. There's a good lad. Everybody give him a hand.
Huh?
Ah, no, wait a minute. I didn't say Simon Says. Okay. Simon Says, begin. All right.
Start.
Simon Says, put your hands on your head. Simon Says, touch your feet. Simon Says, never mind. Clap your hands. Da. Yes, you there. You're out.
No, I'm not.
And you too. You're out. Go
No.
on. Out you go.
No.
Good. Ah, I didn't say Simon Says, but you got out, so yes, you're out.
Huh.
You have to be very careful. All right. Simon Says, lift your right knee. Simon Says, lift your left knee. Lift both your knees. And if you're on the floor, you didn't wait for Simon, did you?
Oh.
Did you know that Simon Says was invented in 1266 when Simon de Montfort had control of King Henry III? And no matter what King Henry ordered, it didn't matter until Simon Says. Clap your hands. Oh, I did say Simon Says. You see, I just said it as part of another sentence, so yes, you and you're out.
What?
Simon Says you're out.
That no.
Well, you're all doing brilliantly.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun, eh? Simon Says, have fun. Brilliant.
I'm having
Simon
fun.
Says, flap your arms. Simon Says, flap them again. And again. No!
I stopped. No, you didn't.
If you flap them a third time,
No.
you're out.
No.
Simon
Did I?
says, banana bread. I don't even know why I said that. I don't even know what it means. Simon says, jump. Simon says, skip in place.
Can he?
Simon says, patty cake. Simon says, jump again. Simon says, kick. Clap.
I'm going to kick something over.
Simon says, flap. Clap. Flap.
Oh, you got me
Simon
to clap.
says, jump.
Wait.
Simon says, spin. Simon says, put your hands on your hips. Simon says, put your head on your knees. Simon says, put your head on your hands. Put your hands on your hips.
Wait, you didn't say Simon
Simon
Says.
says, jump. No, I didn't say Simon Says. You there, listen carefully. And Simon Says, you must listen to me very carefully or you'll be out.
Simon got any, like...
Please extinguish all cigarettes.
Huh?
Just kidding. Who has cigarettes anymore? If you do, Simon says, give me one. Simon says, scratch your head. Simon says, shout.
Yeah.
Wow, very good. That was brilliant.
Wait, Simon Says...
Running sound.
No, I'm in.
I didn't say Simon Says.
I didn't make a running
Simon
sound.
says, ignore my next command. Simon says, fall on the ground.
No.
Simon says, don't jump.
Don't jump. No, I didn't.
Don't jump.
Okay.
Simon says, jump.
Jump.
Sing Rule Britannia. You all have very lovely singing voices, but what say Simon Says?
Nice.
Simon says,
Wait,
fall
did he?
down. Get up.
Simon.
Simon says, roll over. Simon says, stand up.
Can he?
Yes. Brilliant. That was terrific. Really very, very good.
I'm out.
Hope all you had a fantastic time.
It was pretty good, actually.
You all brought cake because I did promise cake and I hate to be a liar.
Did you bring
Well,
cake?
The game is over. Simon says spin. Simon says, now the game is over.
Spin.
Simon says, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time.
That was
Tune
a
in
good
again
game.
next time for another rousing daily recreational activity. Thank you all for playing. See you soon.
Simon's talking to Uncle Jack. I know, he said there'd be cake. Let's go for Nighty Night 2. Let's try that. It was better than his humour hour. Maybe. He never gave us any. There's no cake in
Getting
here.
late, isn't it?
It is.
And it's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed.
You are quite... you're
Would you
right.
like me to read you a bedtime story?
Aye, go for it,
Of
man.
course you would. Well, gather round, citizens, gather round. I'll tell you a bedtime story.
Nice.
After a while, the wolf heard Little Red Riding Hood knocking on the door. Who is it? Sang out the wolf. It's Little Red Riding Hood, said Little Red Riding Hood. Come and see in here, sang out the wolf.
They has
Come
made me
in.
want some cake. Sorry, Jack. Continue.
Mother, I've come to bring you a pie and some milk, said Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, good. Put some on the cupboard. I will eat and drink some later, said the wolf. And Little Red Riding Hood did as she was told.
Well, try not to talk over Uncle Jack's
Different, said Little Red Riding Hood.
Nighty Night.
I'm not myself today, said the wolf. You know how it is. Why don't you have some wine, said the wolf. There's a bottle on the table. So Little Red Riding Hood drank her mother's blood.
What is that accent you're doing in between?
The cat said, meow, you're drinking your mother's blood. The wolf said, oh, do cats ever tell the truth? Throw a shoe at the cat and he won't bother you anymore. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her left shoe at the cat and he never bothered her again. That makes me hungry, said Little Red Riding Hood. I got you some ham, said the wolf. Why don't you make yourself a ham sandwich? So Little Red Riding Hood made a ham sandwich out of her mother's ham, and she ate it right up. This is delicious, she said. Squeak, said a mouse. You're eating your mother's flesh.
Every one of his stories doesn't go the way I remember them going.
Always lying, said the wolf. Anyway, you can't be picky about your food these days. Throw your other shoe at the mouse, and he'll never bother you again. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her right shoe at the mouse and killed it. Never bothered her again. What should I do now, Mother? Asked Little Red Riding Hood. Take off your clothes and get into the bed with me, said the wolf. Well, what should I do with my apron? Asked Little Red Riding Hood. Throw it in the fire. You won't need it anymore. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her apron in the fire. What shall I do with my dress? She asked the wolf. Throw it in the fire. You won't need it anymore, said the wolf. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her dress in the fire. What shall I do with my petticoat? Asked Little Red Riding Hood. Throw it in the fire. You won't need it anymore.
This is a much
So
more
Little Red
frightening
Riding Hood
version.
threw her petticoat in the fire.
I don't understand. Uncle Jack, where did you get this
That
bit?
is good enough, said the wolf. Cut it here, next to me. So Little Red Riding Hood got under the blankets with the wolf.
Give me that book then, so I can
Oh,
see.
Mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what big eyes you have.
This bit's in the
Well,
book.
they're better for seeing you in the dark, said the wolf. Oh, Mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what a long nose you have. All the better for smelling you, said the wolf. Don't you smell delicious, my sweet? Oh, Mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what long teeth you have. All the better for eating you, my dear, said the wolf, and he ate her right up. And then he ran off into the forest and was never seen again.
Wait a minute.
Little girl, this seems to say, never stop upon your way. Never trust a stranger friend. No one knows how it will end. As you're pretty, so be wise. Wolves may lurk in every guise. Handsome they may be, and kind, sweet or charming. Never mind. Now as then, 'tis simple truth. Sweetest tongue hath sharpest tooth. And that's the story of Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed hearing it as much as I enjoyed reading it.
Show us that book.
You want to know what the real moral is?
Geese it the
The
now.
real moral of the story is, don't go out at night, or the wolf will kill you.
Right.
And I'm afraid you can't see the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for another bedtime story. Good night, all. See you tomorrow.
Aye, all his stories don't go like, I'm like, oh aye, I mind this story, and then it takes weird turns, and I'm like, that didn't happen. No, Jack, no, give me that book there, you're making this up. But no, Nippon, I'm playing this on PS4 just because changing the cable for 4K all the time was a pain, so it's a PS4 Pro. And I mean, this game's basically just playing videos. Insane videos from Uncle Jack. Pardon me, sorry. Wakey wakey, I should put that one on first. So I was wake up in the morning to terrifying Uncle Jack. I mean, nice, friendly, definitely not a murderer.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The weather is a bit wet, but that's the lovely thing about English weather. The sun always comes out in the end. So come on out, or you'll miss it. Wakey wakey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Pretty lazy,
Good
pretty
morning,
jam.
dear
Sorry, Jack.
friends.
That's a good song.
Good morning to you.
Thanks, it is evening, but you didn't know that.
I do hope you had a lovely night's sleep and left all the troubles of the day in dreamland. That
Get
is,
good
if you
sleep,
have
sleep
any
on, man.
troubles, remember what was bothering you yesterday? I certainly hope not. And today is going to be
Cheers
even
for tuning in,
better.
dude.
Now, we all forget things from time to time. So don't forget the most important thing. Did you leave the stove on? Did you remember to shave? Did you wash your hands? Did you brush your teeth? I hope you did all these things, but they're not the most important thing. And that is, as we all know,
Oh, take my joy.
take your joy today.
Aye, that's right.
Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet. So, let's take a look at today's schedule. What's going on in the village of Hamlin?
I don't know.
Selling and buying, of course, and wandering hither and thither, and marketing and talking about the weather, and smiling and laughing, of course. I insist on it.
Cheers for the party bit.
But at 3, I hope you'll all take a quick break for our daily recreational activity. Today we'll once again all gather round the telly for a rousing round of Simon Says. So, I wish I could join you. Good. Actually, I will join you. I'll be doing it from this chair. I'll be calling the tune, if you will. Just like every day. I'll be your Simon. Except when I'm not. And don't forget, there'll be cake and prizes for all winners, and everyone's a winner, and everyone will be there. So don't miss it, or the villagers will break your legs. And then where will you be when Simon says, jump like a frog? Well, you'll be writhing on the ground, won't you? But seriously,
I will be
unless
there.
you have an awfully good reason, such
No,
as being
no, you've made it
recently
clear.
deceased,
You've made it clear,
you'll be
man.
a sport at 3 o'clock, won't you?
I'll be there,
We'll
aye.
love your company.
How far is it to Hamlin?
And now, the brilliant new song from our favourite new band. See you soon.
Said there's going to be a dab. You see it in the VR, got to go like, I'll do a dab in both directions, but I need to turn my head so you can see that my hands are going. You got a lot of dabs for your money, though. My neck. Right, let's watch the partner trailer and we'll unlock a key for the next load of insane videos. I should play this. I feel like it had something that made it difficult, or because the idea, it seems really good. Spent longer watching videos about it than I have playing it.
I want you to have fish.
Got you.
You have no right to touch me! Got a bed and breakfast? And yearning shall avail thee not.
Are you sure it's safe to get that close?
Fix you. Move along, please. What's done is done. Get yourself back to the garden.
What does he want to know?
Very good.
See, I mean, all of this stuff makes it look amazing. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, isn't it? Right, get that, didn't you? Yeah, see, same. I remember looking forward to it when I seen trailers like that. I mean, look at everything. They've got all of this bit right, but I guess the game bit came out a bit wrong. I think I had a shot at it when it was in like pre-release or something, and I was like, what is happening? I'm not very good at survival type games at the best of times, but apparently that one was really tough. Let's go for Dead of Winter. We'll try and do these in an order. It's probably going to be a song though. It is. And again, the music seems to be right on the... It's a wee tune. The music does seem fitting. This is going to be another bit of music, isn't it? So I'll let it get to the solo. Oh, sugar, I was just messing about. But it is another song. Better not keep them going too long. Aye, these have all been based on certain bands that you can usually guess. That kind of sound for that period. So yeah, the soundtrack might be worth checking out actually. Another tune, got On Cloud 9. With some nice backwards noises, ambient sounds. I think I've seen this visual before though, they used this on another one. So that person walks back and forth to the person in the bit. Like that. This is a nice one. Yes. Cheers, Sage. What about Curious Behaviours? Do you think it's going to be a song as well? The last one's going to be Nighty Night with Jack. The first Nighty Night, I think. This is a tune as well, with that guy. It is like... I discovered backward sounds. Nah. But I'm very fond of them. Songs get extra marks when I notice that they're being used. Right, Curious Behaviours, the song, and now we've got Nighty Night. Nighty Night, I keep saying 90. Nighty Night. Anyway, we've got another key. And we've got another video with Uncle Jack. He's going to read us a mental bedtime story again.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
It is, man.
It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed.
No.
Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Aye.
Of course you would. Well, gather round, citizens, gather round. I'll tell you a bedtime story.
Yeah.
Tonight's story is called Little Red Riding Hood.
Wait a minute. Oh, did we have part 2 of that the other night?
Once, a young woman was told by her older sister to bring a pie and some milk to their mother, who lived in the forest. The
Have we
younger
had
one
this?
was known as Little Red Riding Hood,
No.
because she was not very tall. And she liked to wear a red cloak that her mother had knitted for her, because it went with her red, red hair and her red, red mouth.
What?
As she was walking through the forest, a wolf came up to her, for in those days wolves roamed free in the woods. The wolf asked her, "Hello, little English girl, where are you going?" Little Red Riding Hood was not afraid of wolves, and she had a very good knife in her basket. "I'm going to my mother's house in the woods," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Ah, which path are you taking?" asked the wolf. "The low road or the high road?" "The low road," said Little Red Riding Hood, for it was the shortest. "Ah, then we must part ways," said the wolf, "for I'm taking the high road." And Little Red Riding Hood took the low road, and the wolf took the high road. But the wolf could travel very fast when he wanted to. And though he was travelling on the high road, running up and down the ridges overlooking the forest, he reaches Little Red Riding Hood's mother's house long before Little Red Riding Hood was even in shouting distance, and while the sun was still high in the sky. "Knock, knock," said the wolf in a not very good imitation of Little Red Riding Hood's voice. "Who's there?" asked Little Red Riding Hood's mother. "It's the Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "Well, you don't sound a little bit like my daughter," said Little Red Riding Hood's mother. I'm hoarse and out of breath, for I've been running away from the wolf who lives in the forest. Please, let me in, because I can see him coming for me." "Oh, no," said the wolf. "Well, you'd better come inside," said Little Red Riding Hood's mother, and she opened the door. And the wolf quickly cut her throat and poured her blood into a bottle.
I beg your pardon. What happened there,
He
Jack?
ate most of her, but saved some of the juiciest cuts. These he sliced onto a platter, but he was very good with a knife, even for a wolf.
Night, man.
Then the wolf put on the mother's pyjamas
Good sleeps.
and got into bed. I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time.
I've
Tune in
heard.
tomorrow evening.
I've-
I'll tell you the rest of the story of
I've
Little
time
Red Riding
travelled.
Hood.
I know,
It's a
man.
lovely story.
I
And
know
I'm
that
sure
one.
You'll enjoy the rest of it. For now, this is Jack Worthing saying good night all, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Who did you buy that book off of? Because the stories have went wrong. I'm upset that Little Red Riding Hood had a knife and didn't deal with that wolf. Oh my goodness. So that, I'm trying to remember what the other story he told me was, because I think I've had 1984. Give me that. It's time for some more of these jokes. TM. Let's get his bow tie back on. He's cracking himself up at these already.
Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Humour Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Nigel Plaskett of the Barton. Dear Uncle Jack, I love your show, and Humour Hour is my favourite. Here's one I heard at the pub. A man walks into a doctor's office. He has a cucumber up his nose, and a carrot in his left ear, and a banana in his right ear. "What's the matter with me?" he asks the doctor. The doctor replies, "You're not eating properly." That's excellent, Mr. Plaskett. Very good. I can certainly think of better ways to eat a banana, if I could get one. Very good. This one from Ridgwell Hawks of Hither Lane. I went to see my old friend Angus McTavish the other day. I sense a Scottish joke coming on. Do you? I went to see my old friend Angus McTavish the other day, and he was stripping all the wallpaper off his living room wall. "Angus," I said, "I can't believe you're redecorating." "I'm not," he said. "I'm moving house." "I'm moving house." You could just hear him, eh? Because we all know how stingy the Scots are.
Oh, that's,
Good one, Ridgwell Hawks. Very good.
give me that joke.
Scottish, eh?
Who is it?
What do we have here? This is from Antonia Penillusion of Upper Watling Street. My husband is always complaining that his eye hurts whenever he drinks tea. Well, take the spoon out of the cup, dear, I tell him. Well, you certainly have a very stupid husband, Mrs. Peneley. Excellent jokes today, my friend. And here's one today from our faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyan. Mr. Blackyan, what have you got for us today? Yeah, very good. An Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman walk into a pub together. They each buy a pint of good English ale. And just as they're about to drink deep, 3 flies land in each of their pints and get stuck in the head. Well, the Englishman pushes his beer away in disgust. I'm not bloody well going to drink that, he says. The Scotsman spoons the fly out of the bubbles and drinks the pint. Waste not, want not, he says. And the Irishman grabs the fly by its wings, holds it over his mug and says, "Spit it out, you bastard! Spit it all out!" Very good, Mr. Percy Flatting of Duke of Leicester. Though I have to say, personally, I'm with the Scot on that one. Waste not, want not. Sound advice. This is from Camilla Buckworth-Jones of Peel Street. A man goes to his doctor. He touches his shoulder and winces. "Doctor," he says, "it hurts when I touch my shoulder." Then he touches his nose. "And it hurts when I touch my nose." And he touches his knee. He says, it hurts when I touch my knee." The doctor says, "Well, I'm not surprised." "I'm not surprised you've got a broken finger." That's wonderful, Mr. Bickworth-Jones. Very good. What a twit. Here's one from Felicity Royston, writing from the George and Dragon.
Is there anything written on these at all? You're just making this up?
"I thought I'd try the new Joy diet," she says. "I didn't know there was a Joy diet. I think it's working. I've lost several days already." Yes, that's... One sometimes forgets a thing or two, don't we, if we overdo it. You know, I actually think it's best to write things down if they're really important. In fact, I seem to have written a note to myself just the other day. Let's see what it says.
Yes, cheers, Sage.
"Don't forget to do it." Well, I should be a little more specific next time, eh? Well, that was a bit strange. Now, let's see what else we've got. Got one here from Cyril Pike of Inchin Circle. "I saw my friend Jeremy walking along the street with his wife the other day. Suddenly, she fell into a manhole, but Jeremy kept walking. I ran over to him and I... Good God, man, didn't you notice your wife just fell in a manhole 100 feet back?" "Oh, thank goodness," said Jeremy. "I thought I'd gone deaf." Lovely, lovely. So thoughtful of you, Mr. Pike. I do hope they got her out of the sewer. And if not, then it's one less mouth to feed, eh? Think about that. And this one is from Corporal Lindsay Douglas of the Victory Memorial Camp. He's one of the loyal members of the Home Army. Do you know what's one of the toughest things about having to wear camouflage trousers? You can never find them. Oh. Ah, yes! Because they're camouflaged. Very good. Yes. Brilliant, Corporal Douglas. Very, very funny. And may I say, we salute your service. It's good to know that you're there to protect us when the next war comes. I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. If you hear a good joke, please don't hesitate to drop a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House, in the centre of Wellington Wells. Tune in again next time for the best in English humour. See you soon.
Honestly, I've watched... I mean, I think there was... I worked it out the other time, so there's like 5 of these and there's 8 of those, so there's 40. And I've watched 10 on this side. Well, 11 now. There's so many, and all of them are Jack. The first few ones, I was like, oh, maybe there's another... This Uncle Jack, he does all the telly, apparently, in this universe. And he might be a murderer.
And now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And today's first letter is from Rupert Scribner of 12 Spanker Lane. Mr. Scribner asks, Uncle Jack, yeah, that's me, is it possible to take too much joy? Well, Mr. Scribner, it is possible, but you really have to work at it. You have to take a great deal of joy before you experience any toxic effects. Joy is quite safe in the short term, and you can take up to 10 pills per day if you're a man of average weight. However, there are side effects, as we all know. Joy not only makes you happy, it suppresses bad old memories. If you take too much, it may temporarily suppress memories that you actually need to get around. Do you have trouble identifying the people in your house, and yet they seem quite friendly and affectionate? Do you find yourself wondering exactly what your house looks like and how to get to it from wherever you are? Does it seem as if the shops and the streets have all been moved around behind your back, and the map that you have in your head of your environment doesn't quite match the one in your memory? Well then, you may have taken rather too much joy. It might be best to ask a friend to take you home so you can sleep it off. All right. Good. This one is from Royston Farrell of Meadfold Passage. Dear Mr. Worthing. Well, there's no need to call me Mr. Royston. We're all friends here, aren't we? And besides, Mr. Worthing is my father. Anyway, my question is, writes Mr. Farrell, what's all this talk about a joy spiral? Dear Mr. Farrell, the so-called joy spiral is an imaginary syndrome in which you take too much joy, then you forget you've taken your joy, so you take more joy, and then you forget that you've taken that, and so on and so on and so on. But Mr. Farrell, I can assure you that no such thing exists as a joy spiral. I mean, you might as well believe in the Tooth Fairy, or Santa Claus, or those people who tell you that we lost the war. It's ridiculous. Long before any such joy spiral catches hold of you, you'll probably pass out, and when you wake up, your memory will be restored. Yes, it's true that you might be a bit confused about where things are, but any passerby will be happy to point you in the right direction. All right, Mr. Farrell? Good, thank you for writing. And
What's this you've got? What is this?
Ah, a scented envelope. I like those. And this one here is from Mrs. Joan Tamlin Goggin of Shagbear Wood in central Wellington Wells.
Oh no, take all the joy.
Mrs. Tamlin Goggin writes,
Forget
I know
what
we
it
beat
says.
the Germans and made them abandon our
Cheers for tuning in. Thanks for all the bits,
but
Sage.
how did we do it?
Get good sweets,
Do
yo.
they have tanks?
Take it easy.
Mrs. Tamlin Goggin,
Boy,
thank
boy.
you very much for writing. Yes, it's easy to be confused of those long-gone days, and you're right. Indeed, they did have tanks. Quite a few of them. And if ever you're inside of the Victory Memorial Camp, you can see those German tanks lined up as if it were 1948. I'll tell you how we beat them. With English cleverness, English patience, and English fortitude. That's how. If you want more details, and I don't know why you'd want more details, but if you did want more, you can get a wonderful book called Our Glorious Victory by Jack Worthing. Yes, that's me. And it's available in just about every bookstore in Wellington Wells, and it's full of questions from all your favourite wartime heroes, from the generals to the common Tommy trudging through the mud. But you already know the lesson, Mrs. Tamlin Goggin. Patience and fortitude. Now stop dwelling in the past and enjoy our time, why don't you? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. I hope this has been informative. Tune in again tomorrow for more fascinating glimpses into the lives of your fellow citizens of Wellington Wells. This is Jack Worthing saying, cheerio, and on with your day. I'll see you soon.
Nice. What you got now? 1983. See what you're up to.
Well,
Oh.
it's getting late, isn't it?
Yep,
It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed.
that's right, man.
You don't want to be out after dark, do you?
Absolutely not.
Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Yes,
Of course you would.
obviously.
Well, curl up in front of the telly and Uncle Jack will tell you a story. Tonight's story is called Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Amazing. For your mad book, where it gets them all wrong.
Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived in a house in the woods. They were called Henry Bear, Jane Bear, and Jane's father, Old Edward Bear.
this is not right
They'd
so far.
barely enough food to feed themselves, but
Barely.
it was enough. Every morning, Henry Bear had a big bowl of porridge
Yep.
because he was big, and Jane had a medium-sized bowl because she was medium-sized,
This is correct.
and old Edward Bear had a small bowl. Though he was wise, he was tiny and needed to preserve his strength, and he didn't need to eat that much either. And Henry had a big chair, and Jane had a medium-sized chair.
Yeah.
And old Edward had a small chair that was padded and very comfortable. And each of them had a bed to sleep in. A small bed for old Edward Bear, and a medium-sized bed for Jane Bear, and a big bed for Henry Bear. Every morning, Jane Bear made porridge for the three of them. Just enough so they would have energy throughout the day. And she gave them each their joy, 1 pill for old Edward Bear, 2 for herself, and 3 for big Henry Bear. They took their joy right away, of course, because they knew it's always best to start the day with joy. And then they would go out for a walk in the woods to find berries to put in their porridge while it cooled, because they knew that berries are very healthy in porridge. But one morning, while they were out, a young woman came by their house. Her name was Goldilocks, for she had golden hair, of which she was very proud. And she was always getting into mischief and causing her neighbors trouble, because she thought she was entitled to everything because of her pretty golden hair. Well, the 3 bears were sensible bears, and they'd locked up their house. It's always best to leave your house locked, because you can never be too careful. But when Goldilocks came by the bears' house one morning and noticed that the bears were not there, she said to herself, "What a nice house! I wonder what is in it." So she checked all the windows, and sure enough, one of the window latches was loose. Goldilocks said to herself, "Oh, stupid bears! They have not protected themselves so well." So she pried the window open and went into the bear's house, even though she did not belong there. And she found herself in front of the dining table. Now, Goldilocks was not particularly hungry, and she was used to much better food than porridge, but she believed that anything she could take belonged to her. So she decided to taste the porridge. First, she decided to sit in the large chair and try the large bowl. "Oh, this porridge is much too hot," she said to herself. Then she decided to sit in the small chair and try the small bowl. "Oh, this porridge is much too cold," she said to herself. So she decided to sit in the medium-sized chair and taste from the medium-sized bowl. "Oh, yum, it's perfect," she said to herself, and she ate up all the porridge in the bowl. Well, eating all that porridge made Goldilocks very sleepy. "I wonder what sort of beds these bears have," she said to herself. So she looked for the bedroom, and as the bears had a very small house, she found it right away. And she saw that there were 3 beds. At first, she tried the smallest bed, which was old Edward Bear's bed. But this bed was much too small for her, and no matter how much she thrashed around, her feet hung out. So she tried the big bed, which was Henry Bear's. But the big bed was very high, and no matter where she rolled around in the bed, Goldilocks was afraid that she'd fall out while she was asleep. So she tried the medium-sized bed, which was Jane Bear's bed. And she said to herself, "This is just right. I shall make this one my bed." And in no time at all, she was fast asleep. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our Tune in again tomorrow evening, and I'll tell you the rest of the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. It's a lovely story, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the rest of it. For now, this is Jack Worthing saying good night all, and see you tomorrow.
Nice. Are you away, Jack? There we go. Right, art book teaser. This is just a trailer for the art book. From Dark Horse. I'll need to play this game at some point now that I've watched like 5 hours of promos or something for it. does look good. Sounds are good. Visual design. Is that when the game actually came out? Anyway, news hour 10. Unlocked a new one.
What do you do if you're with a downer? Well, if it's you, then just excuse yourself and take your joy right away. You'll be as right as rain in no time. But what if it's not you? Well, the first thing to do is ask the downer, have you had enough joy today? Most sensible people will realize they've forgotten their morning joy. After all, forgetfulness can happen to any of us. In fact, it's a sign you're taking your joy. So remind them and they'll take their joy right away and, yes, problem solved. But what if the person won't take his joy? Well then, you need to step up and do your patriotic duty to your fellow citizen of Wellington Wells. If you can see a policeman or a doctor, simply notify them that there's a downer in the area and yes, they'll take care of the rest. After all, it's their job. But if there are no authorities, you may need to take action yourself. Call your fellow citizens and let them know they've got a downer in their midst. They'll help you chase and subdue the downer and make sure he takes his joy. Once he's recovered his senses, well, you can let him go on his way. And if for any reason he fails to recover, don't feel bad. Sad feelings are contagious, and one bad apple can spoil the lot. Go on your way and have a lovely day.
That's quite a short news hour there. He must have, that went colour at the end there. He must have done a lot of these. Jubilator music. This is quite insane, actually. You're going to add something to it, do you think? It's finished already. Just seaside town. That's not bad. Gamescom. There's going to be another trailer. There's a lot more trailers on this side. That was a nice one though.
London Bridge has fallen down. It's fallen down. Fallen down. London Bridge has fallen down. Take the keys and lock them up. Yes, go on, do it. Lock them up. Yes, lock them up. Take the keys and lock them up. My fair lady. Everything everything is quite all right. Sleepy tight, nighty night. Everything's tucked out of sight, my fair lady.
Yeah. See, all of that stuff looked good. I'll need to try it this year. Yeah, we shop Smiling Crime.
Now everything's better under the sun. Talk in the dark.
That's the one that came on at the end of the...
Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run.
the actual VR experience part of this.
When we were young,
I mean, this is still it, but this is more archive promo
we
stuff.
just a child and we
Yeah, it's a
started.
good game though. Smiling Crime.
All we do is smile.
And then Georgie Joy. We've opened another one. Some good sounding ones here.
Long late sights of fire. All the things that summer would have when I'm with you. Tangerine, lemonade and sunny dream. Soda pop and football team when I'm with you.
It's all my new one. Okay. What is this? Load screen music, probably. Right, I've actually heard this loading screen music as well. No, it was the menu music on this actually. That's what that was. Get all these visuals in the game as well, do you think? During the load screens. It's a good one. Ominous sounding. Kickstarter trailer. Is there ones for every other loading? That is quite cool. If there's one for each area. That's back to the other one. Those are cool, different visuals. Oh man, good to see you back in Ace. Been not bad, thanks. How about yourself? You can do good. It's Uncle Jack. Oh, grow it in. Jeez, oh man, mine are getting done in. Been grinding my teeth a lot, like in my sleep. But I mind that being sore. Come on, wisdom teeth come in. About
And
time
that
I
was
was
the
doing
peak
my
of the
hires.
exciting new game, We Happy Few. And it's all set in our very own city, Wellington Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us here in the studio the creative director of We Happy Few. Please welcome Mr. Guillaume Provost.
I bought that for
Thanks
the
for having me on the show,
PS5
Jack.
update.
Tell me,
Sorry,
Willem,
man. Sorry.
Why make a game all about us?
Well, we like England.
Yes?
We like the 60s.
Oh, yes?
We love dystopia.
Dystopia? More like utopia. Because, well, let's face it, we're all so happy here. Do you know the secret behind the famous Wellington Wells smile? Well, it's the miraculous little pill ingeniously called joy. And it helps us forget anything bad that might have happened to us. And life is just wonderful every day.
Yeah, so back in the war, when the Germans invaded England and...
What an imagination this fellow has. What an imagination. Of course, none of us had to do anything terrible when the Germans were here. No, 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 no. At least, I can't remember anything. Can you?
Right. So as the player, you're not actually taking joy. You're off your meds. You're trying to escape the city before it all comes crashing down on you.
That sounds awful. Why would anybody stop taking their happy pills? Do you know what we call people who don't take their joy? Downers, Jason. And do you know what we do with downers? They give them a jolly good thrashing until they take their joy. That's what we do.
In the game, you actually play as a downer. And as you roam around the city, you get to explore its lore and history. And you discover how it got to be the way that it is.
I believe you brought a clip.
That's right, we brought a clip.
Roll the clip.
Clip, clip.
I remember now. You came back from the station. The only one.
You don't think they hurt him, Percy?
The Germans aren't animals, you know. They just wanted to make sure we stay quiet. And we did. Spot of tea.
Funny man.
You see, the people in We Happy Few aren't zombies. They just have peculiar expectations about how you should behave.
You're off your joy.
So if you walk down the street, smiling at everyone and wishing them a lovely day for it, everything will be perfectly fine. In a way, it's like hiding in plain sight. But if you do things that gamers normally do, like breaking into someone's home or wielding a bloody cricket bat on the street, the people are going to get very upset.
Yes, that is something that we frown upon here. Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, the problem is if you don't break the rules, you're probably going to starve. You are going to starve. You're definitely starving.
And if you do break the rules, people will beat you to a bloody pulp, won't they?
Which is why, as a last resort, you can always take a pill.
Well, why not as the first resort? Everybody loves it.
Jack, you'll overdose.
Well, what's wrong with a little overdose? I mean, so you forget where everything is, but then, brilliant, you've got a brand new town to explore.
When you die, and in We Happy Few, you'll die a lot, we generate a brand new city for you from scratch. From the topology of the terrain to the road arteries and the houses that fill up those networks, and the people that live in them, we generate a brand new journey for you to experience each time you start a new game.
Goodness, why don't you make a game all about the wonderful citizens of Wellington Wells beating downers senseless, you know, and then cramming joy down their throat, eh?
Cheer up, you bastard.
Yes.
Take it from Jack Worthing. That's me. We're talking smash hit. Anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
Yes, actually. We worked really hard on this game, and we're always on the lookout for more feedback. So if you like the project, or you want to see more of Uncle Jack, come join us. Help us make this game.
And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Jeffrey Porpoise, the creative director of We Happy Few. Stay tuned for my cooking show. That tastes amazing. What is it? This is Jack Worthing wishing you another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. First time in the telly?
Yes.
You were a bit stiff at first, but I think you warmed up and I think you did really well.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you. I really like those trousers. Be on my stool. If anybody needs me.
Julian Casey as Uncle Jack. Yeah, I always... Kojima always spoke about doing things with a game for Nintendo on the 3DS, but it never came about. And with VR, I think he's got like motion sickness for like FPS games, so I wonder if he's alright with VR. I can't think of anything specific he's said about it. Is this Party with Jack or 1984? But I would do amazing things with it. Oh, it's Play with Jack. Sorry, I can't read.
And now, it's time for our daily recreational activity, the show where you're the star.
Nice.
Come on, everyone. It's time for everyone to get out of the street and find a telly to watch. This game is so much more fun with all of your friends and fellow citizens. Today is a very special episode of our favorite Simon Says. Have you ever wondered if you're ready in case the Germans ever came back? Would you know how to defend yourself against the marauding Bosch? Are you ready? All right. Now let's play Simon Says. Haha! Yeah, I didn't say Simon Says. You all know the rules, don't you? I'm going to tell you to do something, but if I don't say Simon Says, you don't do it. If I do say Simon Says, yes, you do it. All right. Is everybody ready?
Aye.
You there. Are you ready?
Definitely.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Wellington Wells spirit. Everybody give him a hand. Good. No. I didn't say Simon Says. All right, then. Now, what I want everyone to get themselves a weapon. Cricket, bat, or a crowbar, anything like that. And if all you have is a banana, well, that's fine. Actually, if you do have a banana, just drop it here at the station and I'll swap you for it for a slightly used mallet. Good. Simon says, raise your weapon. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Ha yes. I can see I already got a few people out there. If you swung left, then you're out. The Germans got you. Fall to the ground, eviscerated.
Wait, did he not say left?
Joking. You can never be too careful. All right, then. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, lunge. Simon says, parry. Lunge. Ah! Yes, you.
Yeah, me.
You're out.
I know, man.
Remember, the lunge is your finishing blow. Save it for when your enemy's on his back foot, no matter what Simon says. You lunge? You were supposed to. I did say Simon Says, you see. I just said it in bits. Yes. So you and you're out. Simon says, you're out.
Huh.
Very good. You're all beautiful.
I'm back in now.
Go on, give it to me. Simon says, give it to me. Yes, very good. Simon says, take a step forward. Simon says, take a step back. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, finishing blow. Step back. Simon says, shout. Yes. Simon says, raise your weapon. Simon says, have fun.
Yes.
You're all doing brilliantly. Very good. Simon says, jump. Simon says, parry. Simon says, dodge. Simon says, lunge. Simon says, victory beat is wonderful. Captain says, swing left. Ha-ha.
I didn't.
Say Simon Says.
I didn't do it this time.
Simon says, don't do the next thing I say. Simon says, jump. Oh, what do I do? Simon says, run in circles. Simon says, stay in place. Simon says, lunge. Lovely. Simon says, sing Rule Britannia. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never shall be slaves. Good. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Ah! You there. Simon says, run along. Go on. All right. Simon says, fall down. Simon says, get up. Simon says, roll over. Simon says, stand up. Brilliant. Simon says, do everything I do, I shouted, even if I don't say Simon Says. Swing right. Swing left. Swing low. Swing chariot. Lunge. Lunge. Again, lunge. Again, step forward. Right. Left. Right. Lunge. Lunge. Yes, finish him. Fatality. Oh, yes.
Fatality.
Terrific.
You know Mortal Kombat.
Very good. I hope you all had a fantastic time.
That was good, I'm knackered.
I trust you all brought cake because I did, and I did promise cake, and I hate to be a liar.
I better have cake somewhere.
Well, I'm afraid the game is over.
No.
Simon says, spin. Simon says, now the game is over. And Simon says, I hope you all enjoyed yourself immensely.
That was good.
We've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for another rousing daily recreational activity. Thank you all for playing.
Bye, Uncle Jack. Right, let's go for... Oh, we can get part 2 of Goldilocks. we can go for that. I've had quite a few nighty nights tonight.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
It is, man.
It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed.
It should be, probably.
Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Yes.
Of course you would.
Obviously.
I haven't finished the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
I was just telling them.
Well, gather round, citizens, gather round. I'll tell you how it ends. We last left Goldilocks fast asleep in the Three Bears' house. She's eaten Jane Bear's porridge and made a mess of the dining room and the bedroom. And she's still asleep in Jane Bear's bed.
Yeah, it's good, okay.
Well, soon enough, the Three Bears came home from their walk through the forest. They hadn't found many berries, just enough to flavour their porridge and keep them from getting scurvy, but they were looking forward to breakfast. But when they came into their dining room, they could see that something was not quite right. Henry Bear saw that there was a spoon sitting in the middle of his porridge. "Someone's been at my porridge," he said in his great big gruff bear voice. And then old Edward Bear saw that there was a spoon in his bowl of porridge. "And someone's been at my porridge too," said old Edward Bear. And Jane Bear looked at her bowl, and she was very upset. "Someone's been at my porridge too, and they ate it all up." Well, she was very upset indeed, for now she'd nothing to eat except for a few berries. Well, Henry Bear and old Edward Bear each gave her some of their porridge. But now they were all very hungry, because none of them had had enough to eat. And bears need to eat a lot of food when they can, because they know that winter is coming, and there won't be anything to eat. Since they hadn't had enough to eat, they decided to rest a bit, because a sleep is a poor man's dinner. But when they got to the bedroom, old Edward Bear looked at his bed and saw how the covers had been thrown on the floor. And he said, "Someone's been lying in my bed." And Henry Bear looked at his bed and saw how the covers had all been rumpled. And he said, "Aye, and someone's been lying in my bed and all." And Jane Bear looked at her bed, and at first it looked like it was still neatly made. But then she saw Goldilocks. "And someone's been lying in my bed," she shrieked, "and she's still there." At that, Goldilocks woke up with a start, and she saw the Three Bears staring at her, and she screamed, "Get out! Get out, all of you! Get out of my house!" Maybe because she thought she was in her own house, or maybe she thought that she could take the bear's house from them if she could scream loud enough. So Henry Bear hit her with his big bear claw and knocked her head clean off her shoulders. Oh. They felt much better. Then they ate the rest of her, tore her apart and ate her. They felt very good indeed, because now they had enough to eat. And all three of them lived happily ever after. And Goldilocks, she never bothered them again. And the moral of the story is, don't go wandering round at night, or you might get killed. Well, that's the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What a wonderful story.
That's your
I
version.
hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for another bedtime story. This is Jack Worthing telling you to have a lovely night, pleasant dreams. See you tomorrow.
Somebody needs to tell Jack that somebody's got him a book of, like, you know, children's stories that go definitely veer off a wee bit. Jack's big made up stories, but he hears me though, so I'll be careful.
And now, it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And today's first letter is from Charles Hawtrey of St. James Parade. Dear Uncle Jack, I always get eliminated early in Simon Says. It's so frustrating because I love Simon Says and I don't get to play very much of it before I get confused and I'm out. What can I do?
Same.
Well, Charles, I'm so glad you care about Simon Says. It's one of my favourite games, as you probably know. In fact, sometimes I wish someone would come and be the announcer so I could come to Hamlin and play Simon Says. Say, What a lovely idea. Why don't you come here, and I'll go there? Ah, yes, but that doesn't solve your problem, does it? How can you enjoy Simon Says better? Well, I can't promise you a way to be less confused. After all, a bit of confusion is normal when you're taking your joy, and you don't want to cut down on your joy, do you? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. But look, just because you're out doesn't mean you can't keep playing. Just go to the sidelines and keep playing. After all, no one's going to arrest you for continuing to wave your arms around when I say wave your arms around, eh? I mean, when I say Simon Says move your arms around, right? Good. Well, I hope that's helpful, Charles. And thank you very much for writing. Here's another letter from Mrs. Gillian Overshaw of St. Giles Crescent. Mrs. Overshaw writes, Dear Uncle Jack, I found the most peculiar thing in my garden. Perhaps you can help me identify it. It has the general shape of a garden gnome. That is, it is short and squat and has a rounded pointy top, just like a gnome's pointy hat, but it's smooth and metal and nothing is painted on it. What is it? Should I make it into a lamp? If I get the hat off, it would make a perfect umbrella stand. I think I can get the hat off if I heat up the bottom part in the fireplace. What do you think? Oh, well, Mrs. Overshaw, I think what you might have here is an unexploded artillery shell. So, no, my dear, I would not particularly recommend heating it up in the fireplace. In fact, I would recommend not touching your garden gnome any further. Especially, do not drop it or drop anything on it. Now, if any of the heroes of the Home Army are listening to this broadcast, and I know some of you are, would you mind dropping by Mrs. Gillian Overshaw's place at 25 St. Giles Crescent and help her in disposing of this rather peculiar garden gnome? Thank you. There's a good chap. Well, this one is from Mrs. Susan Brimble of Northumberland Passage. Dear Mr. Worthing. Oh, Susan. There's no need to be so formal. You can call me Jack or Uncle Jack. But don't call me Mr. Worthing, because that's my father. And definitely don't call me Mrs. Worthing. Anyway, dear Mr. Worthing, my husband stays a really long time in the bath. He comes home after work and immediately runs a bath. And he stays in it until it's time for dinner. Sometimes he even stays in there after I tell him it's time for dinner. Last night, I even brought him his dinner in the bath, and he left it there on the side of the sink. What's a wife to do? Well, Susan, or Sue. May I call you Sue? I'd like to think I can call you Sue. Susan, I'm not a doctor. I only play one on TV. But I do know some doctors, and I asked them about your husband. They think your husband might just need a little more joy in his life. He seems to be trying to soak it in through his skin, and, well, that takes a very long time, and it'll turn him into a prune. So please be sure that your husband pops a joy or two when he wakes up, and a joy or two before he goes to bed, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more of them in a considerably drier state. There are very few problems that joy won't make better. All right, Susie? Good. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time.
Oh.
Tune in again tomorrow for more cheery answers to your questions about your life in Wellington Wells. This is Jack Worthing saying, cheerio, and on with your day. I'll see you soon.
Nice. Right, Zombieland. There's probably going to be music though, isn't it? Yep. Soundtrack does seem really good. There's going to be lyrics in this one as well.
All your crying gets me down in the gutter. You were in the lost and found by another guy. Finally played you for a clown in the summer. That's when I came along.
Yeah. Another soundtrack one. Nice ambient one. need to give this game a go. Listened to too much stuff from it and that. I'm actually worried that this is the last few tapes I've not listened to. It's another music one. Tell me I've got one more Uncle Jack left. No! I couldn't have listened to it either. I think I have to. I've listened to several hours of Uncle Jack. That Simon Says music. Seen that visualizer a few times. Joy fight. Is this really it? I think it says no more keys to unlock, maybe? We'll check all of them now, make sure. Complete. We've watched everything.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God.
It's very dangerous to put your hands outside the windows of the train.
I should just take my joy, shouldn't I? Percy! Percy!
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish. Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today?
Was the game
I
playable
made her a
in
welcome back card.
VR? At all?
Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube?
Maybe it was on PC. Sorry,
Of course he'd have to break the tube to get out.
interrupting this guy's
Well, I'll break it for everybody.
monologue here.
You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did you go?
I run away for that guy.
We seem to be a bit behind in our work.
Just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up. Even if you've got to ask.
That was Uncle Jack.
But look, there are some things.
There you are. You nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out.
I remember watching this. When did that say?
Come on.
2016.
Hit it. Hit it.
I remember watching this the first time round.
Hit it. You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
But there we go. We've done it. We've completed We Happy Few Uncle Jack Live VR. The dinner's music's kicked off. And we're running up on it. No. Cheers everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. That was surprisingly long. I think the gameplay wasn't too long, but there was a ton of stuff. Good to see you, Smaze and Mushroom. And everybody, Bag of Knives. Cheers everybody for the chat. Sage for the bits in the chat. Nippon for the chat. Jamagek for the chat. Aye. Cheers everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that even half as much as I did. It was surprisingly good. Night, Bag of Knives, man. Night everybody. I might do another one. I've got another short kind of video only one. I might nip on and do that again. These are far too kind. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Another TV VR, Bag of Knives, Nippon, Grafmo, Caxips09 and Smaze and Mushroom. Catch you all again soon. Take care. Bye. Bye. Na 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 na. That tune's quite catchy. Bye.